Mark had barely put his glasses on the nightstand when his cat climbed onto the bed. Not unusual, except tonight she skipped her usual spot by his feet. Instead, she walked all the way up to his pillow, sat there, and simply stared at him. Not meowing, not asking for food, not needing the blanket, just sitting there for nearly a minute. And then she did something Mark had never seen her do before. We'll come back to that. Because if you sleep with your cat every night, you may have noticed some strange patterns of your own. Maybe your cat insists on sleeping by your head. Maybe they stretch across your legs like they pay part of the mortgage. Or perhaps they disappear in the middle of the night, only to magically reappear before morning like tiny furry commuters returning from an overnight shift. And if you've spent enough nights sharing your bed with a cat, you've probably wondered something. Why? Why this spot? Why this routine? And should you even let them sleep with you? Depending on where you look, the answers range from comforting to wildly dramatic. Some people insist your cat is guarding you. Others claim they're monitoring your breathing. And somewhere out there, somebody is probably convinced their cat is conducting nighttime quality control inspections on the universe, which seems like a lot of responsibility for an animal that occasionally falls off the couch while sleeping. But here's where things get interesting, because cats are creatures that value safety, familiarity, and routine. And while sleeping beside you may seem ordinary, the choices they make at night can reveal something surprisingly important. Not mystical, not magical, but something many cat owners overlook completely. And it starts with a question that sounds simple, but isn't. Why does your cat choose that particular spot? Because the answer isn't always what people think. And one reason, especially, explains why some cats sleep near your head, while others seem perfectly happy stealing circulation from your feet. 1. Their favorite spot isn't really random. Think about where your cat usually sleeps. Maybe it's your pillow, maybe your feet, or maybe they've somehow decided your rib cage is a perfectly acceptable mattress. It might seem random, but cats usually choose whatever feels most comfortable. Your pillow carries your scent. Your legs provide warmth without too much movement. And the side of the bed offers a little more space and a quick escape route if something unexpected happens. Different cats have different preferences, which explains why one cat wants to sleep practically inside your ear, while another prefers what looks like a respectful professional distance. Sort of like coworkers who get along perfectly, as long as nobody hugs. And here's something that surprises many owners. Those favorite spots can change. A cat that spent years sleeping on your chest may suddenly move to your feet, or under the bed, or onto a laundry basket that appears wildly uncomfortable to everyone except the cat. And often, those changes have less to do with affection, and more to do with something cats care deeply about. Routine, which brings us to something almost every cat owner has experienced: the bedtime supervisor phenomenon. 2. The bedtime supervisor phenomenon. Have you ever noticed your cat somehow knows you're going to bed? Not because they're reading clocks, and probably not because they're secretly checking your calendar. Cats are simply excellent observers. The television turns off, the lights dim, the toothbrush comes out. And somewhere in the middle of all that, a furry face appears, as if they've been waiting backstage for their cue. Many cats learn bedtime patterns surprisingly well, not because they're counting hours, but because they notice the little things. The same way they know the sound of a treat bag from 3 rooms away, or somehow materialize the instant you open a can. And once bedtime becomes part of the routine, many cats begin participating in it. Some race to the bedroom, some wait patiently, and some insist on walking directly in front of you like tiny crossing guards who are somehow helping and causing the traffic problem at the same time. Because predictability helps life make sense, which becomes even more interesting when you realize that sometimes you become part of that routine too. 3. You might be part of what feels familiar. Think about this for a second. Humans have comfort objects too. Favorite blankets, favorite chairs, that coffee mug with the chipped handle that somehow survived 3 moves. Familiar things feel good. And cats aren't so different. Over time, the bed itself becomes associated with safety and comfort. And eventually, the person sharing that bed can become part of the picture. Not because cats experience relationships exactly like humans do, but because familiarity matters. Your scent, your schedule, the sounds you make, even your nightly ritual of adjusting the blankets 3 times before finally deciding they're acceptable. All of those things become normal, and normal feels comfortable, which explains why some cats sleep beside their humans year after year. But here's where many owners start to worry, because sometimes that pattern changes, and when it does, people often assume the worst. Which brings us back to Mark's cat. Remember how she stretched out on the pillow facing the bedroom door? That seemed strange, and it raised another question. Why do cats sometimes leave during the night in the first place? 4. They don't sleep the way we do. Most humans settle in for one long stretch of sleep. Cats prefer something closer to a series of naps connected by occasional quality control inspections. They sleep, wake up, stretch dramatically, inspect the food bowl, look out the window, possibly stare at something invisible with unsettling confidence, and then head back to bed as though nothing happened. Their sleep naturally comes in shorter cycles, which means a cat leaving the room at 3 in the morning usually isn't unusual at all. In fact, many cats make several little rounds during the night, almost like tiny homeowners checking whether everything is still where they left it. And many eventually come right back. That's why some owners wake up in panic. My cat left, only to find the cat peacefully sleeping beside them again 30 minutes later, as though they had simply stepped out to conduct important business. And speaking of unnecessary worries, there's another misunderstanding that causes a surprising amount of guilt. 5. A cat that sleeps elsewhere can still be deeply bonded. This surprises a lot of people, because social media sometimes makes it seem as though every happy cat should sleep directly on top of their owner, preferably while stealing oxygen and 90% of the pillow. But cats have personalities. Some are little Velcro creatures. Others prefer a bit of independence. Some run warm. Some dislike movement. And some simply object to snoring with great conviction. That doesn't make them less attached. Affection shows up in many ways. Following you into the kitchen, greeting you at the door, slow blinking, quietly sitting nearby while you work, or appearing whenever a can opener enters the conversation, which admittedly may involve mixed motives. But affection isn't measured by square inches of bed occupied. And if your cat prefers another room, that doesn't mean you've failed some secret cat parent exam. It simply means your cat has preferences, and those preferences may change throughout life, which makes what Mark eventually realized about his cat even more interesting. And if this video is changing the way you see your cat, find the button and join us, because maybe that's the real secret. Not that your cat is performing mysterious nighttime duties, but that out of all the cozy spots in the house, they keep coming back. And sometimes that's simply because you've become part of what feels familiar and comfortable to them. Remember Mark's cat from the beginning? After all that staring, she finally turned around and claimed almost the entire pillow, which, judging by her expression, she thought was a perfectly reasonable arrangement. Anyway, I should probably go. I need to go negotiate with my cat for 12 inches of pillow space. I'm not optimistic. FurEver.